Hi guys, welcome back to Impossible. It's late, but my son is asleep and I wanted to put out a video for you and something that I want to talk about that's very important um, is STDs, the truth about STDs, okay? And taking care of oneself and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people are embarrassed to talk about this topic and stuff like that. I'm not. I really don't give a fuck what people think about me. I have 3 STDs in my life. I've had chlamydia. I've had something called trichomonias, and I've had BV. Now they say BV is a STI or whatever the case may be. Anything that throw your pH off is a fucking STD to me. Okay, all right. Now, the 3 diseases, the STDs that I got was from my children's father. Okay. Sometimes it happens that way. So when you're young and when you're a teenager, and these are things that I wish my parents would have told me about protection, sat down and talked to me about using protection and, sex and stuff like that. But I had to learn sex the hard way as a teenager. Okay. I started fucking at 14 years old. All right. That's just the God honest truth. So I learned everything on my own and how to take care of my body and GYN on my own and shit like that. So I'm trying to tell you now, never be ashamed at all. And this is why I always tell people about hygiene. Like I was, it's not trying to, I'm not trying to diss you all out there. I'm just trying to school you all on, taking care of oneself and self-knowledge. See, I know oneself, so I'm not embarrassed. And this is an embarrassing topic that people don't like to talk about. Most people try to front and say like, oh, well, I'm disease-free and, my pussy never stink and stuff like that. Well, guess what? I had an embarrassing moment, okay, where my pussy stank one time I was having sex and never again, okay? But this is self-knowledge. I'm not embarrassed to admit that, okay? Whether it happened to you or not, kudos to you. If you never had an STD, that's great, okay? But I'm telling you from personal experience, how, self-knowledge and not to be embarrassed, because people are embarrassed to talk about these topics, okay? And people are embarrassed to confront the partners who gave them the STD. Never be embarrassed to confront the partner who gave you the STD. Now, the first time my children's father gave me the STD, okay, he gave me chlamydia, right? Anytime your vajayjay is not spelling right, okay, it's totally different from a yeast infection. A yeast infection, it doesn't smell, but it itches like crazy, and you're gonna be discharging something that smells like cottage cheese. Okay, so the best course of action is anytime your vajayjay is out of whack, do not try to do home remedies. Just go to the GYN doctor so they can prescribe something for you. Okay? That's the best course of action. But, yeast infection, that's not STD. That's something, like wearing tight clothes or, nylon or polyester panties. Just wear cotton and let your vagina breathe. Okay? That would, and take probiotics. I like to take Pro B. All right? But getting back to STDs. So the first STD he gave me was chlamydia. Okay, so anytime your vagina smells out of whack and it starts smelling like something funky or dead or whatever the case may be, and you discharging and you smelling it and it's not smelling right, go to the GYN. Okay, do not try to do home remedies and stuff like that. All right, so you can get the proper medication. Now, the second one he gave me was trick. Okay? All right? Now, the first time he infected me, I was embarrassed. Okay? But I knew I wasn't sleeping with anybody else but him. And this is what I'm saying. Never be embarrassed to confront the person that infected you. Okay? Because if you're the only person that I'm sleeping with and I call chlamydia, but when you're young and I was a teenager, so when you're young and you don't know any better, this is what happens. So I'm trying to school you all on something here. All right, listen, I'm not embarrassed to say it. Okay, so the next one was Trick. This time around, and I'm still not sleeping with anybody else but him. So this time around is like, nah. So when I confronted him, okay, on the fact, now I brought up the 2 infections, okay. So when I confronted him, first thing he tells me was like, oh bitch, I ain't got that shit, you gave it to me, this and that. It's okay, because I got my flagyl already. I'm just telling you, you need to go to the doctor and get your shit too. But the nigga wanted to use my medication. No, motherfucker, you go to the doctor and you get your own medication. I'm just letting you know that whoever burnt who, because he didn't want to take the blame. And that's where embarrassment comes in. He didn't want to take the blame, and he didn't want to admit to the fact that he was sleeping around unprotected and giving me this shit. Thank God I never caught like herpes or HIV and shit like that. Thank God. Thank God. Okay? Thank God. All right? So after that, we was very, we continued to sleep together. At this time now, I already have kids by him. Kids. Not 1, 2. All right? So it's very hard to leave a toxic relationship when you know you're unhappy and stuff like that, and you're in a toxic relationship. You stay because of the kids. Right? The next thing, I started getting BV. So it's not as severe as chlamydia or Trick, but they call it like a STI, like it's like a throw off for your pH. But still, I'm not sleeping with anybody, and I'm getting like BV. So BV is when your partner is sleeping around with multiple people, or either you or your partner is sleeping around with multiple people. Exchange of fluids and shit. Okay? That's where you get the Metrogel. That's why I said, like, BV, they call it a STD. Oh, well, it's not an STD. Yeah, anything that throw your fucking pH off is an STD to me. Okay? Alright? But never be afraid to confront the person who gave it to you. Alright? I fucked up because I didn't confront him the first time with the chlamydia. Okay? Because if you don't confront the person that's giving it to you, you're going to get reinfected. That's the whole shit. And guess what? I got reinfected with Trick the next time. Alright? Yeah, I'm taking the medication, but what's the use of taking the medication if you still sleeping with the person that's infected because you embarrassed to speak up? Okay? And your shit is off. Alright? But I was young and stupid. I was just a teenager. But I learned to speak up. Like, yo. Okay? So guess how I fixed the third problem with the BV? I stopped sleeping with the nigga altogether. Now, his parents are Jehovah's Witness. Well, his father passed away, but his family is Jehovah's Witness. Okay? So when I stopped sleeping with him, they had no knowledge that I wasn't sleeping with him or whatever the case may be. Now, I ain't gonna front. I was cheating, but I was cheating with condoms. And this is why protection is very important. Protection is very important. Okay? So if you know you're gonna have sex with somebody, okay, stop at the store, make sure you have protection on you. Magnums, Trojan, whatever. Rough Riders, whatever on you. Okay? They may look at you like, oh, what the fuck you doing with this? So what? You're protecting yourself. Alright? Because any guy that want to run up in you raw and stuff like that, no. No. And before you decide, if you guys sleeping together with a condom and stuff like that, before you decide to stop sleeping with a condom, go to the hospital and check yourself for STDs and HIV and stuff like that before you decide to stop using protection to protect the both of y'all. So, when all is clear that you guys don't have anything and then you end up with something, you know that you guys started out with a clean slate, and obviously it came from somewhere, and I'm not the one that's cheating, like that. Never be afraid or embarrassed to confront any topic with your partner. Never be afraid of no. Okay? Alright? And yes. So condoms, and make sure you go to the hospital and take all those STDs and HIV tests Thank God I never been affected with HIV and stuff like that. But I got all those diseases from one person. So let me just bring it back to the parents and stuff like that. So one day he was complaining. We haven't had, now mind you, we hadn't had sex for a year, right? He's telling his parents he had all these bumps all over his dick and shit like this and that. They looking at me crazy. So his mother got upset, like, oh, why my son this and that. And I just told her straight up, like, your son ain't tell you we haven't been sleeping together for a year? That's how you do somebody. So the truth came out with him. All right? So you need to find out where you got those bumps from, because, nigga, I ain't sleeping with you. Now, I was sleeping with other people, but I was using protection. But I knew that I never contracted or anything else after that. Now, this is off the topic, but when he got with the new girlfriend, and this is shit that I hate what people do. They always talk about their ex and try to talk bad about them and shit like that. So she had it in her mind that I was like a hoe and this and that, and I did this and that and the third, right? So she was like, yeah, he said that you guys wasn't sleeping together. And I was like, did he tell you that he also gave me 3 STDs? She shut the fuck up. See, I'm just taking it on another topic, because I'm going to get into that too. When people break up, the foul shit that they say about the other partner, it's 3 sides to a story. Okay? So she was taken back by that. So just be careful out there. Be careful. All right? There's a lot of us, we ashamed, we embarrassed to say that we stunk before. Yeah, I stunk before during sex. Yes. This is why I tell you the purpose of freshening up and hygiene is very important. Yes, it has happened to me. Okay? Have I had an Yes, I had. Okay? From the same person though. From the same person. All right? But how you alleviate that is by using protection, going to the hospital, and making sure you both don't have anything before you doing unprotected sex. And Pro B. I like Pro B. Antibiotics to keep your vajayjay fresh from, yeast infection and stuff like that. Let your vajayjay breathe, okay? And stuff like that. All right? But yeah, that's the truth about STDs. Anytime your vagina is out of whack, you sleeping with somebody and you go to the GYN and you find out that it's a STD, never be ashamed to confront them. Just even if they say, oh, bitch, you gave it to me. Well, I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm just letting you know somebody gave it to somebody and you need to go to the hospital and get the fucking medication. Period. Okay? Period, point blank. All right? Never be ashamed of who you are. All right? It has happened to the best of us. Okay? But that's why self-knowledge is the best knowledge, and I'm trying to school you all. All right? I'm not embarrassed to talk about topics like this. At all. At all. All right? Because it has happened to the best. Some female, I never stunk, or I never had an STD, and this and that. More power to you. Even if you did or you didn't, and you just lying to yourself. I don't have to lie to myself. I know oneself. So, I don't have to lie to myself. Okay? So, yeah, we all had those embarrassing moments. But, it's the fact of being a grown-up and living up to it. That's it. And coming straight. All right? And me coming straight is just to teach you all and school you all, what life is really about. This is something that I never was taught. I had to learn it as a teenager, okay, growing up, because I was self-taught. All right? But I want to teach you all not to walk down my path and how to protect yourself, okay? Because it could have been worse for me. Herpes. I could have ended up with herpes, HIV, this other shit called HPV. All right? There's a lot of diseases out there. All right? And I don't want you all to mess up your life, especially if you're young. All right? Okay? So, that's it for me. My son is asleep. I'm able to do this video. Okay, I love you guys. I'm possible to talk about everything. I'm possible. You're possible. Everybody's possible. okay? And anything is possible. All right? Your girl Tasha Ty NC. I'm out.